Right, it's nearly that time, isn't it? We're nearly a full time on Jurgen Klopp's career at Liverpool. Everyone has had to say over the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to have my say now. Basically, I've picked out 5 moments in Klopp's career at Liverpool, which I think have been absolutely key to his time here, with his success and what have you. And I mean, these aren't necessarily the biggest moments, the most successful games, most exciting games, all this kind of stuff. It's just the moments which I think will probably, for me, define the kind of manager he's been and what he's trying to do at Anfield. So, here we go. 5 key moments for Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Number 5, 13th of December 2015, Liverpool 2, West Brom 2. Now, obviously, you're probably going to think it's about the celebration, and you'd be right, because the game was kind of forgettable. Little bit of context. A few weeks, maybe about a month previously, Liverpool fell to a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Crystal Palace. I think it was Scott Dans maybe scoring in the late on 82nd minute maybe. The thing was, when that goal went in, the stands started emptying at Anfield. And there's famous images of Jurgen Klopp kind of looking around and bemused really as fans just streamed out of the ground. And we've all seen this happen. We laugh when it happens at Old Trafford, but it's happened plenty of times at Anfield. In his press conference, one of the things that stood out is that he wanted to turn people from doubters to believers. And in this time, you could see maybe he had his hands full. Maybe it was time to actually step up and maybe criticise the supporters a little bit, which is always a risky move for any manager, let alone a new manager. But he knew he needed the fans on board, and he needed the fans to sign up and really get behind the team. Not just get behind the team, but become part of the project, I think. And with this West Brom game, a few weeks later, Liverpool were 2-1 down, and I think it was in the 96th minute, Divock Origi scored. It's maybe the first of the big, memorable Divock Origi goals. He scored, obviously, in stoppage time there. He'd done a Divock, and Liverpool rescue a point at West Brom. Klopp leads the team up to the Kop, holding hands. A big thank you to the Kop, big moment, which is mocked without mercy from rival fans, from commentators. Quite rightly, I don't know. I wasn't sure at the time. I thought I could see what he was trying to do, and I appreciated that. What is noticeable, he did it at Dortmund a few times, but that's not something that he's really done at Liverpool. He's done it in finals, done it in semi-finals, these big games, but it's not been a massive party trick that he brings out on every occasion. He chose to do it then, and he chose to do it for a reason. And I mean, we can all see how the club developed over the next few years and how important that synergy from the fans and the team was. So I think this was the first big moment from Jurgen Klopp. Number 4, 14th of April 2016, Liverpool 4, Borussia Dortmund 3. Now this was Jurgen Klopp's first classic comeback, an underrated Anfield European night, and maybe the first hints of what was to come in the coming years. Now the Reds were 2 goals down within the first 9 minutes. Throughout the game, they twice needed 3 goals to progress in the Europa League semi-finals. And goals from Divock Origi, Coutinho, Sacco set the game up as Liverpool attacked the Kop. And in added time, we saw a bit of composure from Daniel Sturridge and James Milner, and that led to a Dejan Lovren header into the winner. Cue delirium, and Jurgen Klopp had his own European moment as Liverpool manager. Now, little did he know that he'd go on to better that a few seasons later with the Barcelona game. This was a brilliant game. I think it was Europa League. People can kind of mock the Europa League a little bit, but when it gets going and when you get a moment like that, it's incredible. As I say, it's an underrated Liverpool European game. Borussia Dortmund, really good side. I think they had Tuchel as the manager there. Lots of great players. Obviously, Klopp's got that connection with the team there. And Liverpool were probably played to the maximum of their ability, probably over the maximum of what their ability is. The kind of were led by the heart rather than led by the attack and skillful prowess. I think that was a great one. And as I say, it was a hint of things to come in the seasons to come. Number 3, July 2016, Jurgen Klopp sends Mamadou Sakho back home from Liverpool's American pre-season tour. Now, this was Jurgen Klopp's first big statement as a manager towards his players in terms of discipline. Apparently, Sakho was late for the flight out to America, late for some kind of meeting or treatment that he was getting because he was injured at the time, and he was late for a team meal. It seems that, this rubbed Jurgen Klopp up the wrong way. I don't know whether he had it in his mind to send him back at this point, but what really kind of sent him over the edge was Sakho playing class clown, interrupting the boss while he was giving an interview for LFC TV. Didn't go down well, and Klopp kind of criticised him jokingly on camera, but you could see, there was a bit of seriousness there too from the boss. Sakho was sent home early from the American tour, and he just wouldn't play for the club again. It was a bit of a weird situation there. Obviously, Sakho had his issues with being banned for a drug investigation. He was eventually cleared of that. He ended up training with the under-23s when he returned to Liverpool. Moves, I think, to West Brom and someone else were kind of mooted. He wasn't interested in that. So he spent basically the next season training with the under-23s before ending up getting shipped out to Crystal Palace the following season. And I think he did well at Palace. He was popular there. But I think he was a player that had a lot of talent, but always had a potential mistake in him. So I don't think many Liverpool fans really were that sad to see him go. But as I say, it was an important moment. You see Jurgen Klopp put his foot down as a manager and saying to the squad, I might be all smiles, I might be all hugs, but you know what? You don't cross me. I'm the boss. I think that was important in installing that discipline in the team from the off. Number 2, 22nd of October 2017, Tottenham Hotspur 4, Liverpool 1. Now, this felt like a pivotal moment in the Reds' development. 4 minutes into the match, Dejan Lovren forgets how to set an offside trap. I think Harry Kane went on to score. It was a game at Wembley when Spurs was still playing at Wembley. It was kind of simple. Lovren lost his head, as he kind of tended to do. Same with Sakho, play with lots of ability, would occasionally lose his head in those moments. That's the difference between being a really good defender and being one of the best. And if you want to be the best team in the Premier League, you need that solidity and that consistency in defence. Not long later, he messed up again in a different way. I think it was a throw to Spurs, a bit of a loop and throw. Lovren steps forward, doesn't deal with it. Kane gets in the back and Son scores 2-0. Now, he was having a nightmare. I think Son kind of danced past him several times in the game as well. He was having a real bad time. So much so that he was brought off, so to speak, after about 30 odd minutes. When any player is getting subbed after 30 minutes, it's not a good sign. When it's a defender getting subbed after 30 minutes, I think it's a sign that the players have an absolute nightmare, and he did. I think, though, that was a moment, a match that convinced not just Jurgen Klopp, but the owners, FSG, that if Liverpool were going to compete, then you need real quality in important areas. Now, previously, in that previous transfer window, the Reds failed to land Virgil van Dijk. It was a messy attempt, obviously. Liverpool really annoyed Southampton with a bit of tapping up and what have you, but they didn't make the same mistake. A few months later, as soon as the transfer window opened, Liverpool meant business. They smoothed out whatever they needed to smooth out with Southampton, and they splashed out, whatever it was, £75 million to make Virgil van Dijk, for a short while, the most expensive defender in the country and one of the key players in Liverpool's success over the next few years. He's currently Liverpool captain. I don't know how hard Liverpool would have went in for Van Dijk. Obviously they wanted him, obviously they fancied him, but I think that match really said to Liverpool, you need this guy, just pay the money. Stop trying to get him on the cheap, just pay the money to make that leap from decent side into, a real Premier League challenging team. And it happened. Okay, number one in my key moments in Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. Well, we all know what it is. It's 7th of May, 2019, Liverpool 4, Barcelona 0. The night that will define Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. The culmination of everything that he was trying to do. What do we know about it? Obviously, Liverpool 3-0 down from the first leg. Mo Salah, Roberto Firmino out. Barcelona having the best player of all time, Lionel Messi, as well, and having Suarez, Coutinho, and all manner of football and royalty. Was there any chance Liverpool could do it? Most people weren't giving them any chance. I thought we could do it, but, whatever. What else do we know about it? Mo Salah sitting in the stands, never give up, all that kind of stuff. We remember another big Origi moment. We remember Henderson and Milner as absolute animals in that game. When Alden demented, furious at being benched, coming on. Obviously we remember the most famous corner kick of all time. Underrated performance from Shaqiri. I think no one really talks about that. He had that hand in, obviously, in that Wijnaldum header. Liverpool were incredible. It was complete synergy from the team, the staff, the fans. And I think if a lot of people weren't really giving Liverpool much chance before the game, I think at a certain point, everyone just knew it was inevitable. Jordi Alba was crying at half-time. And Barcelona were only 1-0 down at that point. And it's easy to kind of mock that, but that is Liverpool putting an elite sports person into that position where I guess that team felt powerless to change the situation. And you could see that with every, massive press, with every goal that was going in. Barcelona were just frozen, absolutely frozen. So many great moments in that game. Best moment for me is Robbo just absolutely terrorising Lionel Messi. Messi just can't believe it. Andy Robbo just absolutely perfect in that one. Liverpool go on to beat Spurs in the final 2-0, sorry. Another Origi moments for the collection. Not many people talk about that game. It's obviously it's an important part of Liverpool's history. I think the fans that went there obviously loved it. But the semi-final was always going to be the moment of that run and the moment of that season. And for me, that's the moment of Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool.